Welcome back, everyone. Let us now move on to the next session of the day, entitled Careers and Cybersecurity under the Employment Track 2. Moderating this session, please join me in welcoming back Victor Loh, Head of Cybersecurity, Digital Infrastructure and Services at the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC. Victor Loh is an experienced professional with more than 20 years of information security and risk consulting experience in both enterprise information security solution and specializes on cyber threat intelligence framework. His current key role is to drive the cybersecurity as catalyst for the digital economy and to promote collaboration among cybersecurity industry partners and innovation for a cybersecurity ecosystem. With that, I pass it over to you, Victor.
Hi, morning, everyone. Thank you again, Mr. Hasru. Right, it's great to be back here again. I think it's that the last session is like just a week ago. I think today is that we are speaking on the same subject, which is something that is very close to my heart as an individual that who's been practicing in this industry for the last 20 odd years, right? And nevertheless, I think is that the show will not be exciting enough is that we do not have a line of panel that we have invited here today for this morning to speak to you in the topics of cybersecurity as a career, right? And I think that for some specific introductions of this slot of cybersecurity career, right? I think as a cybersecurity career demand out there progress, right? It's not only something that is strategic for our country to look into, right? I think based on the previous panel session, I think there's a length of conversation within the topics of cybersecurity career, cybersecurity certifications. Okay, I think where our next conversation will be going is that is more towards is that we're looking into the ecosystem side of it, whereby is that if you can see from our lineup panel here today this morning, we have Mr. Wong from Securemetric, Mr. Fong from LE Global or LGMS, right, and Dato from UTM Space, right, which I'll introduce them individually later when doing their presentations, right. I think as I mentioned earlier is that this is a topic of I would say under the new normal, right. If we look at the subject of cybersecurity 20 years ago, it's more of the computer science, right? But when you look at the topic of cybersecurity today, it's more about strategic interest over the country, right? To look into how do we actually prepare this specific line of business, not only to secure the protect the critical national infrastructures, it also is important to secure our digital economy. At the same time, also is for national sovereignty. So that's why it's a conversation not only specific to a domain by itself or industry, it's also an interest of a country. And in this subject is a global subject that is even discussed in a platform of United Nations, right? So I think hence there's a setup of national cybersecurity agencies back in 2016, whereby the establishment of Nexus to look into the strategic implementations of Malaysia's cybersecurity strategies that was launched back in last year, October, right? And I think where we are today, the topic that we want to discuss very, very specific today is that is to look into the demand out there, right? I myself just did a very quick search this morning, right, on the demand of jobs out there. I mean, knowing that today is that during this pandemic situations, a lot of conversations surrounding unemployment. But I think cybersecurity is totally opposite of the conversation here today. Is that the cybersecurity actually is some of the most important subject today. Is that during the work from home scenario, during the pandemic, whereby a lot of activities, business conduct, a lot of administrations conduct is conducted remotely, and this could not be achieved without cybersecurity as an enabler, right? And where we are today is that the cybersecurity demand that I managed to discover this morning when I did the search under the platform of a few platforms like Jora, like LinkedIn, okay, I'll say that the number is quite interesting. It's still very, very high, right? And in terms of hiring landscape, I think is that it's not only that the demand of experienced worker that is in high demand. I would say that there's a lot of demand in the, what we call that mid-level or junior level, right? So it's quite equivalent in terms of the demand between the mid and the experience, right? So very, very interesting. I'll say that the job is still growing today. As what in the previous session, there was a gap that we need to address for the country, right? When we move along the subject of digital economy, I think that nevertheless is that the underlying platform of digital economy as an enabler, cybersecurity will be a very key conversations, right? So I think today, this morning, we want to zoom into the subject of what would be the opportunity out there, right? So opportunity out there could be in the range of the demand from the job scope that related to directly to cybersecurity. It means that the people that are fulfilling the experience of developing technologies of cybersecurity or services of cybersecurity, or maybe is in the area that's supporting the operation of cybersecurity itself. So I think is that we have a very different line of speaker that we'll be able to share with you later. And I think also the other side of it, also we want to make sure that we not only do we discuss about demand, we also discuss about the supply side of it, where the academia experience, the interventions, or experience that our panel speaker will be able to share later, right? So without further ado, probably I move on to our first panel speaker for this morning, right? I'm glad that we'll be able to invite Ms. Wong, Yeen. She is a human resource recruit and talent nurse from our very well-known cybersecurity company here in Malaysia, Securemetric, Berhad. And I must say is that this is one of the a brand that actually providing a lot of technologies to support the businesses and operations of Malaysia, particularly in the finance industry, right? So as HR, Ms. Wong role is to recruit and train and develop talents, right? The company has been growing rapidly with the latest in-house cloud technology innovations, known as Signing Cloud, and some of the other business expansion plan happening in the regional office, right? With junior and experienced role opening in Jakarta office, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, including Makati, right? And Singapore as a support hub. Ms. Wong actually aim to have the client trusted, to have a trusted digital security partners in securing the world digital infrastructure today, tomorrow and beyond. So I think that is a great visions that Securemetric actually put forward. As a company itself is in more than 10 years in Malaysia. We have seen a lot of good expansion of the company towards the region. I think it's good that we have Ms. Wong to take the first panel sessions today for this morning to share with you what are those what's the company visions and what is that opportunity that probably Ms. Wong could share with our listener for this morning. Ms. Wong, over to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Victor, for your warm welcoming speech. So my name is Yeen. I'm from Securemetric, Securemetric Berhad, coming from the HR department. I'm very glad today to be here. Thanks to MDEC for providing us this great platform, to introduce you to Securemetric, as well as the kind of opening that we have within the group of companies itself. Yeah. So as you can see from the slide, sorry. Yeah, okay. Securemetric is a digital security software development company in which we specialize in digital security products like PKI, authentication, identity and access management, even like cloud technology, which is our latest innovation. We have come up with the digital signing and document management system last year. Yeah, we also have got some other product lines, related to like cryptography, things like that. Yeah, we have incorporated ourselves in 2007. Yeah, and since then we have expanded to a few countries within the Southeast Asia region. We have got our offices in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, Manila, Makati area in the Philippines, Jakarta. There are 2 offices there in Indonesia, and also our latest establishment in Singapore. I think it was opened on sometime in 2017 or 2018. And Securemetric actually headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, and we are located in Technology Park, Malaysia. And we have also become a publicly listed company since 2018 itself. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Let me click to the next slide. I would like to also, go through with you the kind of R&D and also innovation that the company has. As you can see from the slide, it shows that in 2019, the very last quarter of 2019, we have gotten our FIDO 2 certification awarded, in which Securemetric is the very first first company in Southeast Asia who got this certification. It was actually done in Japan. And then the following month in 2020, we have also launched our FIDO 2 passwordless authentication feature in our CenterGate Cloud solution. Then the mid of the same year, we have also launched our cloud-based digital signing platform known as Signing Cloud. And I'm very happy to also let you know that just this morning itself, we have completed the Signing Cloud version 2 relaunch, in which the event has been joined by a lot of cybersecurity experts within the field, and also some tech speakers from the TED Talk itself, and it was just done in the morning. So if let's say you're interested to know about the kind of solutions, the R&D that we have, feel free to go to our website and look out for the details. And the next month in the same year, in August itself, CenterGate, one of the solution that we have got, also being recognized as one of the top 3 finalists in the National Cybersecurity Innovation Challenge Award. And the same year, the very last quarter of the year, we have also successfully filed a patent for mobile virtual smart card system. So all of these R&D and innovation is actually our in-house development. We have teams of engineers doing the development work, supporting the system itself. All right. I must say that I'm not used to the clicker. Always go back to my mouse. I'm so sorry about that. Let me go to the next slide. Okay. All right, so here's a brief intro to the kind of programs that we have. There are 2 types of internship programs we have for university students. One is known as Studentship Program. All right, so this Studentship Program, how it works is it's actually a mix between industrial training as well as FYP, final year project. So if let's say you are in your final year and looking for some topics to work on your FYP and you are not sure what you want to do, things like that, feel free to explore this program with us, in which from our side, Securemetric side, we will actually assign a technical mentor to actually guide you through your FYP project implementation. Then the next program that we have is actually Internship Industrial Training Project program. So in this program itself, it's actually the normal internship program that the university have is between 3 to 6 months. You can explore any of the roles within these areas. If let's say you're interested in the technical roles, we have depending on your interest as well as depending on the vacancies that is available in the company. So if let's say you are actually placed under in the tech engineering team, you'll be exposed to work activities like programming, coding, system integration, testing, and all. So it's more towards the computer science or software engineering activities. Then if let's say you're interested in like project management, we do have project management team. And also if let's say you're part under this department, you will be doing project activities like budget management, timeline management, stakeholder management, things like that. We also have got another team doing 24/7 technical support. So this team mainly provide technical support and services to our clients. Then another technical role that we have is actually the IT tech sales, which is known as pre-sales. So this role mainly is for those who are interested in like going out, meet customers, things like that. But because we're actually under lockdown now, everything is online. So a lot of things has been moved towards the online digital platform. So we will do like online meeting, product demo, sessions with the clients online as well. So another one that we have got opening in our company is actually the management information system. So MIS is actually doing things like firewall, setting up server maintenance, infrastructure maintenance, as well as networking and all those. So these are the technical areas of work that you can actually explore with us. We have got opening within the company. If let's say you're coming from a non-technical background, also have got, you know, some other opening within like accounting, finance, as well as business, IT departments as well. Yeah. So this will be it. Okay. The next slide talks about you know, the role and opening within the group of company. So we have got an opening not just in Malaysia, but also in all other subsidiaries that within the group. So these are the roles available, as you can see on the screen. For the permanent positions, we are open to junior and experienced, and these are the list of the, you know, roles that has got opening right now. Junior, we are looking at fresh grads, even you know, below between 1 to 2 years of experiences to join us. Experience is actually those that with more than 2 years of experience. And the opening that we have is actually in solution architect, pre-sales engineer, software engineer, account manager, sales, system engineer, MIS. Yeah, same goes to the internship industry training positions. We have got it in IT department, business IT, and MIS department as well. Yeah, so if let's say you're interested to know more about the role and responsibility, job scope, things like that, feel free to go to our website, www.securemetric.com. Yeah, so you can find the JDJS there, as well as career registration form there. Yeah, or if you have your mobile phone with you right now, you can also scan, you know, the QR code on the screen here, and it will actually direct you to our career registration site. Yeah, so if you prefer a traditional way of doing things, you can also send your resume and CV to us to this email address, hr@securemetric.com. Okay. So the next one, yeah, working with us. What does it take to work with us, and what kind of people that we're actually looking at? Maybe this is some of the questions that you have. Feel free to ask me if you have any questions after this. So you can see from the screen, from the pictures that you know, we have here, the one in the middle. I'm not sure whether you can see my you know, clicker. Basically, the second picture on the right, or at the bottom here, the man standing in the middle is actually the CEO of the company. He's also the founder of the company. His name is Edward Law. And the guy, you know, in the next picture standing beside him is actually you know, the red color in white, right? It's actually the country manager of our company of our company in Indonesia. So as you can see, we are actually a very young, energetic, and vibrant company, in which we hope to also continue the legacy, you know, spreading the same vibes, positive vibes to our clients and also our new joiners. Yeah, just a bit of data to share with you. Since 2018, we have been actively, you know, hiring and growing our young members who I mean, from internship background, or even like fresh grades level. Yeah, so since 2018 itself, we have been working closely with you know, like university partners, or even MDEC, through these kind of platforms, and we have recruited more than like 50 interns, yeah, since 2018, and that's about like 10 average interns a year. And out of the, you know, those people that we have hired, we have got about like more than 50 to 55% of them has been absorbed and become our permanent, you know, permanent headcount, permanent roles. Yeah. Okay, I think yeah, I think that's all about us. If let's say you find yourself interested in knowing more about the company, how we work, as well as the kind of positions that we have got it opening, feel free to check out our website, or you can also look for, you know, go to this link here. It is a corporate video that talk about our working culture, the people, you know, and also the working environment itself. So if you're interested to know more, you can actually go to this YouTube to look for the video itself. Yeah, that's all from Securemetric. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ms. Wong. I think it's what we call that is one of the golden opportunity. I would say is that, as what Ms. Wong mentioned, is that there's a few different kind of job functions, It could be directly involved in the line of business of cybersecurity, whereby you could be under the development of the technologies, you could be providing the services of technologies, right? You could be involved in the sales operation of it, whereby supporting the pre-sales operation job role. I think also, nevertheless, I think there's also the back-end function of it, whereby you could be involved in IT infrastructures that providing the services, right? Or you could be in back office operation that supporting the business and finance operation of the organization. So I would say is that if we look at Securemetric as a company, it's not only a company that's successful in Malaysia, it's successful to grow out of Malaysia and have that opportunity across the region of ASEAN, right? So thank you, Ms. Wong. So we'll be moving on to the next speaker for this morning. Is our very own version of rock star for cybersecurity industry, Mr. Fong. He is the CEO of LE Global Services Sdn Berhad, and today is at I would say is that Mr. Fong, as I mentioned, he's a rock star of cybersecurity for Malaysia, right? And it's not only for Malaysia, I think in the region also is that is a well-known speaker and a practitioner of the industry. So Mr. Fong actually have a strong, very working relationship with various law enforcement agencies worldwide. As a trusted figure in the information security arena, he is also distinguished guest speaker for FBI InfraGard event, right? PDRM, info security training, and various industry associations, government and law enforcement agencies on cybersecurity topics. So I think he's not someone new for the industry. I will let him speak on his experience for this industry. And I think as a professional itself, he is also the author of certified lead forensic examiner courseware for professional evaluation and certification board based in the US. And I think he's also experienced to be called as an expert witness to study, assess, evaluate, and testify in the court of law, right? So as a practitioner himself, he's not only the entrepreneur that providing the services to the market, and he's also part of a very important elements to support the law enforcement operation. So are you ready, Mr. Fong? Over to you.
Thank you, Victor. When you said rockstar, I didn't know I was being referred to. I was expecting someone else. Definitely not me. So good morning, everyone. My name is Fong. I'm the CEO and founder of LGMS. So I got a short notice actually about the presentation. So I will do my best to present to you about what we do. And I think the previous speaker, Ms. Wong, has done an excellent job. I'll try to match what she has done to introduce a little bit more about LGMS. Let me try to, So the company is set up back in 2005. We are in our 16 years of operation. Now, LGMS is a very unique company because as a security testing and consulting firm, right, we do not sell any hardware or software. And there is also a very particular reason why many international organizations like to work with us, and including local financial institutions, telecommunications sectors, or organizations. The reason why we do not sell hardware or software is because our core business is into providing security testing and assessment. So for any testing and assessment, we want to give the most objective and brand neutral opinion to our customers. So if we are carrying any products, that we won't be able to do so already. So we have been holding the same philosophy for the last 16 years in our operation. And also because of this philosophy, it propelled us to work with many international giants in our business operations. So later I'm going to share with you who are these people that we are working with. So LGMS is a cybersecurity testing and digital forensic firm. Sometimes we tell people we hack businesses, we hack organizations. We are what you call the professional hackers. But then again, we are the good guys. We work for organizations to help them to uncover their weaknesses. At the same time, help them to provide guidance to them to overcome the weaknesses, to help them to make their system more secure. So play a part in I think in many things around us. So today, if you ever use e-banking systems before, or if you ever bought something online, pay through a payment gateway, then quite likely the system are tested by LGMS at the background, behind the scene. So we have done a lot of this kind of testing for our client. Now, another thing that is quite interesting is that today we're no longer testing on computer systems. We actually have a lab that tests on IoT devices. For example, we also test on medical devices with computer components that come from different parts of the world. We're also testing on IoT devices that is part of a larger computing system. So when we talk about testing, we're no longer just testing on computers anymore. We're testing on many other different devices. Now, at the same time, our another core business in LGMS is computer crime investigation and digital forensic. We have been involved in many criminal investigations, and you'll be surprised, many of these criminal cases that happen will never go to the media, will never go onto the newspaper. So in reality, what I can share with you is that actually in Malaysia alone, we get to see many computer crime cases never get reported. And this is where we play our role to help our customers to investigate the case and also to do forensic investigation, to dig out the root cause of the incident and help the client to understand what has happened and then how to prevent it in the future. Now, because of this, we also testify in court. We also regarded by the court as expert witness in providing evidence to help our victim or help our customers to prove their case in the court. So this is basically what we do. We are an ethical hacking firm. At the same time, we're also computer crime investigators. So if any candidates out there, you're interested into learning how to hack or learn how to work as an investigators, so do check us out on our website. We have a lot of detailed description about our scope of work. So we have been established since 2005. So over the last 16 years, every year we actually achieve some kind of milestones. So today, just quickly go through this. Today, we are, aside from just doing security testing assessment, we are also a certification body, because certification is actually the next step after testing. Once you have tested the security of a system, the next step is to provide the assurance is to provide certifications. So we have been also appointed by the PCI Security Council as a PCI DSS approved scanning vendor and also PCI DSS qualified security assessor, meaning that if any organizations out there that providing online payment, that's dealing with online payment or accepting online payment, this is a certification that you need to go for, and we have the full set of accreditation, and we are only the few companies in Asia that have this full suite of accreditation. At the same time, we are also the first company in the country who received quite a number of certifications. One of them is CREST. We are also ISO 27001 certified, the first company in the country, cybersecurity company in the country that received this from a German certification body. And back in 2019, we have formed a close collaboration with the third largest cloud provider in the world, Alibaba Cloud. They are regarded the largest provider in China, but they are considered the third in the world by Gartner. And with the collaboration, Alibaba Cloud today is promoting our penetration testing and ethical hacking services to their customers worldwide. And this is also the reason why from Malaysia, we are working on projects from different part of the world because of this collaboration. If you go to do a Google search on Ali Cloud and LGMS, then probably you'll find a lot of news release about this. Aside from just reselling our penetration testing services, Alibaba Cloud also promoting our PCI DSS and various other security services to their customers worldwide. So we're working with their team around the world to provide the penetration testing services. So for any candidates out there, if you're interested to join a firm that able to experience international working relationship with different culture, a different perspective of the businesses, you can check out LGMS, because we do have a lot of international clients. We work with many different time zones and customers from different cultural background. At the same time, in 2019, LGMS is also regarded by IDC as one of the key leader in IoT penetration testing in the Asia Pacific regions, amongst other like Huawei, IBM, and the rest. And also in 2019, also something very significant happened. We formed a cybersecurity lab with TÜV Austria. TÜV is one of the oldest certification body in the world. They provide certification in many areas. Cybersecurity is one of the areas. So back in 2019, we formed a joint venture and we set up a TÜV cybersecurity lab that is currently based in Subang. And we have been doing security testing for quite a number of large manufacturers from different parts of the world today in the same lab. So for anyone who would be interested to work with colleagues from different countries, particularly from Europe or China, then this is also one of the opportunity to have the opportunity to work with colleagues from different part of the world. Okay, so in LGMS, we treat our staff as the most important asset to the company. So we practice flexible working hours. We also have work from home program, but nowadays work from home is such a norm already. But actually, we have been practicing this for many years, more than 10 years, even before the pandemic. So when the pandemic came, it's actually a very natural process to switch fully to work from home. I would say today 90% of our staff are still working from home, and we have flexible working hours. We also treat we value everyone's in the company. So we have a saying in the company. In LGMS, we work very hard and then we play harder. So that's why every year we have company trips, and these are some of the pictures that we have gathered recently. The last trip we had was in Hokkaido, and that was 2019. And the year before, we went to Switzerland, Austria, and some other countries. So these are some of the activities that we have in the company. So yeah, these are some activities. So today our client base are basically worldwide. We have clients from all over the world. And this is also the exciting point that you get to work with different people from different culture, different background. We speak different languages. So today, so this is where we are. Right. So that's pretty much sums up about my presentation. If you have any interest to apply for a position, permanent position, and internship, please feel free to go to our website. We are constantly hiring. We are currently about, the company size is about 90, we have 90 award people. We are expecting to grow to about 150 by next June. So there's still a lot of openings up out on the on our website. So please go to our website, lgms.global, and from there you can find whatever positions that we have available. So we are now in a very aggressive hiring mode to fulfill our expansion. So with that, thank you very much. Thanks for your patience, and I hope to see you there. See your applications. Thank you. Over to you, Victor.
Okay, Mr. Fong, I think is as I always believe is that cybersecurity jobs is interesting in a very different dynamics as what Mr. Fong just mentioned. It's not only the operation side of it, but also is that it's the jobs that probably you deal a lot with regulators for the industry, and also potentially the law enforcement agencies. I think is that it's a kind of work that you're not only servicing the client, it's a kind of work that you're actually servicing the public and including the country, right? The expertise and the job satisfaction actually is quite I would say interesting, right? And this is an experience that will be something that you need to keep on learning, right? As what Mr. Fong mentioned, I think the jobs opportunity is there, right? And I still remember that he always highlighted is that they are hiring 24/7, right? So just visit the website of LGMS. And search out for the potential jobs that may be maybe your interest, right? So we will probably move on the next to our third panel speaker today for this morning. Sorry, this morning, right? So our very own Dato, right? He's the director of UTM Space. So Dato is actually is an active industry captain and recognized entrepreneur in telecommunication and digital ICT industry, with an illustrious career developing the nation's digital ICT and active contributions to various national initiatives, right? Dato is currently the council members of National Digital Economy and Fourth Industrial Revolutions, or what we call by IR 4.0, which is chaired by the Prime Minister of Malaysia. The council serves as a delivery-driven governance structure to implement the blueprint of My Digital to bring Malaysia towards the brighter future, right? So Dato is currently joined as a senior. Dato joined as a senior executive director of KSI Institute and also the non-executive director on the board of Red One Holding Berhad. Right. So, Mr. Wee, are you ready? Okay,
Sure.
over to you, Dato Wee.
Victor and ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think I'd like to thank Victor for your very generous introduction. And certainly I hope that the next 10 minutes or so, I would be able to kind of introduce a bit more about some of the ideas about what's going on at the current moment and how we can be better prepared. And the topic here is about careers in cybersecurity. And of course, I see that the cybersecurity is not in isolation. Now, I think you have mentioned the various positions, and I just want to highlight that apart from the national service at a policy level, at a think tank level, I'm also very actively involved in the UTM, being an alumni, as well as the board member, the director of UTM Space, which stands for School of Professional and Continuing Education. And I think this is the first time in the last 20 over years that you will see such a very strong integration between the industry and also the university through the UTM Space, right? So of course, I would also like to share that in the last 30 years, being a digital entrepreneur, I'm also kind of looking at how else, not just some of the industries, but the whole country could move forward. And perhaps I'd like to contribute one or two thoughts there. All right. In just one slide on our national digital economy and 4IR, you just find that it is a whole nation approach. And of course, MDEC, it is, at the core of the entire rollout, because digital economy and digital permutation into all the rest of the society and government will have to take place. It's a whole nation approach for us in the next 10 years to digitally transform Malaysia. So without going into each of those details, suffice to show that government is going through a huge migration to cloud. 80% of government data will be in cloud in the next 2 years and 100% in the next 5 years. Digital economy here means that there are 900,000 micro SMEs, 200,000 SMEs, and another thousands of those large corporations all will have to transform and participate in digitally enabled activities or economy. And we also see billions of the infrastructure development in fiber optic and 5G and all this. So I do foresee that in the next 2 years, the whole country is being transformed. And today we are talking about digital workforce, and particularly the cybersecurity, and the rest will be additional supporting. Also another hat that I'm wearing, which is a Malaysia Productivity Corporation, we have been supporting and encouraging from the Malaysia Productivity Corporation, the Digital Productivity Nexus, that is to promote that strong pledge and awareness among the leaders of organizations to go big with digital. To go big particularly is with the mindset to break through. And it is not just about survival during this pandemic time, but also there's necessity to break out of the current level of whatever that we are doing. So the only way to achieve that is through innovation, through digitalization, and therefore it is one big so-called movement to go big with digital. There are a lot of seminars, a lot of workshops that are actually being conducted for SMEs, for the government agencies on this go big with digital. That is in also go big with the digital, there is this framework that first of all, in the organization, we need to have the new culture, which is a digital culture. because quite often you'll find that there are more senior people, senior in age, there are younger people who are digital native. So that digital culture is not very apparent and not very natural. So that's why it's a constant effort to promote the digital culture, then pilot the areas that can go digital, and then proliferate that if you are successful with one areas and go big with the rest. And then now here comes the fourth one that we want to touch on, is that when we have a lot of application, a lot of data, we must protect our infrastructure and protect our data. That's digital infrastructure and data. So that will be one of the very important P out of the 6. And then of course we can maximize digitalization, we can prosper with digital. And lastly, there are a lot of components that we may not be familiar with. We just partner with Securemetric, partner with LGMS, so the organization can be successful in their journey towards going big with digital. Now, so having said all this, I just want to quote also the World Economic Forum has clearly indicated that there are jobs that are actually decreasing and going out of the market in the years to come. And there are jobs that are really growing and huge in demand. And of course, we know that data science is one of them. And then big data specialists, right? And today, of course, we talk about the cybersecurity, which is very much in great demand as well, along with the rest of the several other, all are digital oriented jobs. So now, if the audience here consists of people who are seeking job, you may already come from some background that are exposed to IT or digital kind of technology, or you may not. However, knowing that this is a future direction, there is a need to upskill, there's a need to reskill whatever that we may already know, either undergraduate or fresh graduate, or even, equally so, the working adults. So current situation, this is all, has been widely reported already, how digital economy has been contributing and will continue to contribute more in the next 10 years. 500,000 jobs, which is anticipated to be required according to My Digital. That's our plan, our blueprint for the next 10 years. So as such, a lot of these areas are coming up. And one of the very major one, of course, is cybersecurity. And not to forget, for those who are in some of those existing jobs that may face some redundancy, is important to quickly reskill and upskill. Now, so a few words about UTM Space. That is a private wing, 100% owned by UTM. UTM being a public university, among the top 5 in Malaysia, among the top 20 QS in the world. It is also among the first batch of the MDEC Premier Digital Tech Institution. There are a lot of expertise at the academic side, at the research side, as well as industry linkage. However, in the public university, there's always this limitation in terms of the number of people that it can be trained and also can be taken in because of funding. So UTM Space, being a wholly owned entity of UTM, has been given the charter to fully expand the role to develop human capacity, to develop especially digital talent during this very special time. And then the programs that is delivered in UTM Space are largely from the industry for the industry. And then secondly, instead of being academic-based and test-based, this will be competency-based, of which the students or the learners will have to actually go through that ability kind of training such that they become good at it. They become good at doing it. So it's competency-based, not academic-based. And thirdly, also it comes with the industry certification ready. There are a number of areas that are certification ready. So some of the programs for the school leavers, we have anything from pre-U that people could join right after SPM, or UTM Space also innovate this degree program, which is 1U plus 3I. 1U means 1 year intensive in the university and 3 years work-based learning. And this provide guaranteed job placement in the 3 years and guaranteed minimal income and guaranteed income as well. So now, whoever that joined this professional digital degree program, they could choose one of those 3 main pillars in the digital transformation, either in digital business, that means innovative thinking, business canvas, and then turning the traditional business to the digital business, right? So the second one is digital system that support. That's where cybersecurity, that's where a network support, configuration, all this come under digital system. We do need a lot of IT support, digital support, cybersecurity specialists, and so forth. And thirdly, it is about innovating software and application for the business, which is then taught in the software engineering. And of course, the AI elements, the big data analytics, all these are available cutting across all the 3. And that could lead on to masters as well. Now, masterclass and micro masterclass are those that we extract from those smaller modules and therefore give them the micro credential. So with that, they can accumulate the micro credential and stack it up, and therefore they could also earn enough of that credential to become a masterclass graduate, and from there get a credit transfer to a master degree student as well. So I think it is a good and innovative structure. And of course, when it comes to the program that UTM Space is now working with MDEC, that includes cybersecurity, professional certificate in cybersecurity, which is part of the micro masterclass. Apart from that, professional certificate in cloud administration, in the IT system management, in a full stack implementation, and also in data science. These are the 5 MDEC selected micro-credential programs, or the professional certificate programs from UTM Space. And with that, just to zoom in one last slide on the cybersecurity, this professional certificate in cybersecurity allow in 3 months to repurpose the so-called direction or career pathway of graduates or any working adults as well, because it is to enable them to learn in depth the strategy to protect, to detect, and respond to cyber crimes. And we have great companies here, Securemetric, LGMS. Now, when the interns or when the staff come in and when they can follow this program, then it makes your business, your life a lot easier, simply because they are very relevant. It is picked up from the industry. And then we use also the PowerShell to enhance security as part of a cybersecurity defense plan. The modules include cybersecurity assessment and planning, of which it is necessary for us to always do assessment and planning. And then cybersecurity administration. It may sound a little bit like mundane. However, the administration is the one that often could potentially be the loopholes and what to look out for. And then lastly is how to host and the cloud security. All right. With that, you know, the completed the candidates that completed this 3 months program would also be ready to go for Microsoft 365 Security Administrator. All right. So that is the specific program from the UTM Space. And then along with that, there are also 5 others, IT administration, cloud, and so forth. All right. And I like to wish whoever that's taking the job every success. Whoever try to reskill, upskill, you achieve your greater objective there. And the companies, you can hire well and prosper with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. I think that is the energy that we need to have, right? It's like I think is that when you look at the cybersecurity as a career itself, is that for our dear colleagues like Mr. Fong, 20 years ago there was no cybersecurity courses, right? And today is that cybersecurity is kind of like a mainstream in the country, whereby it's fall under the My Digital, it's fall under the infrastructure of what we need for our country, right? So maybe for the very, very important conversation we need to have here today is that this platform, what we try to create here is that we bring in Ms. Wong, we bring in Mr. Fong, we bring in Dato. Today is to share the what we call that the demand out there, and then how can you be part of this demand by using the content that we have from what Dato. Just mentioned, right? So but probably the missing part here today is that I think if we look at the industry itself, let's say the people out there, right? Are we missing something here today? Because is that traditionally is that I think is that they always what we call that we always perceive is that if I study engineering, then I work in the engineering industry. If I study accounts, I work in the accounting related jobs, right? So are we seeing that the convergence of different background domain, and then how can those expertise be part of the resources that we need here today? I think at the end of the day is that what we see is that this cybersecurity industry need more than just cybersecurity professionals, but we need a different kind of discipline and background professionals to support, right? So do you think that there's a networking is important to complete the job search? Like Ms. Wong, you give an example, you not only need the cybersecurity professionals, you have other jobs role related to what you want, right? So maybe I can start with you, Ms. Wong, is that how instead of they just come to the MTM and learn about it, is there a platform or better way that we can engage them?
Yeah.
In terms, sorry.
Yeah, Ms. Wong.
Oh, okay. So let me go first. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Fong. Yeah. So coming from the HR perspective, right? We got a lot of questions from our hiring manager. I mean, as in the different departments of our company asking like, when they want to hire a candidate, what is it that the candidate is looking for? Are they willing to, like work for us or work with us? Those kind of mindset. So that is a dilemma that we have been facing, when we are hiring for candidates lah. So it's a very good question. When it comes to, the talents itself, right? Selecting the right talents for the company, things like that. I think it's really about, like the kind of attitude or the personality that we're actually looking at in the talent, but not so much about that technical, because when it comes to technical, unless you're looking for a really, really focused, specialized role, then we definitely need technical, background to actually support whatever things that you want to do. But when it comes to hiring fresh grads, hiring interns, or even like, non-experienced, we are actually looking more towards the soft skill, like your attitude, your personality, what kind of characteristic, what is it that you're looking at? Are you more of a passive person, or you're a contributor? Those kind of characteristics lah. For us, most importantly is the synergy. We want to see what are the synergy that you can actually bring into the team for us to work together. We rather work as a team together. And in Securemetric itself, we don't really have much hierarchy, even though we are a listed company. We have got a few subsidiaries in the region, but our setup is still very small, very entrepreneurial-like. Even like myself, I'm in HR. We're actually looking at using the entrepreneurial spirits in doing the things that we are actually doing lah. Yeah. So on that, that is my take. Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Fong, I want to address you a very, very important question, because I think that the question I throw to Ms. Wong is a very HR oriented, right? But I think it's someone who own the business, right? I think maybe as an audience who's listening in today, probably the number one question on top of the mind is that, oh yes, this is a very fantastic future career for the next 10, 20 years or even 50 years, right? The kind of jobs requirement out there, right? But what kind of salary that the person may enjoy, right? I think that's number one thinking in mind right now for people, right? So demand, it means high pay. Mr. Fong?
Yeah, okay. This is a very straightforward question. It's about dollar and cents, right? So what I can share with you right now is that in the field of cybersecurity is somewhat unconventional. I'm just using my organization, for example. If you join in as a fresh grad, and after you work for 1 year or a period of time, right? The pay scale doesn't depend on your seniority actually. So meaning that we actually pay as looking at your contribution, your capability and contributions. So meaning that if you have a group of friends joining us as a fresh grad, by the end of the year, perhaps your salaries will be different, all different already, because we will value talents, we value people who take initiative as a team player, and also we value people who has the ability to quickly pick up skills and learn. So I would say for the fresh grad, I'm not sure whether you're referring to the pay scale of a fresh grad, but I think fresh grad we're looking at 2008 and above. Some fresh grads came in with some special project they have done before. We start with 3,000 plus, 3,003, or perhaps higher. So it depending on what you have done before. Like if during your university time, you have wrote some papers and then created a proof of concept of certain subjects, and then obviously that will help a lot. And when you come in, but that doesn't stop there. The more important thing is that once you started a career, the continuity is more important, because even though you started at quite low as a fresh grad, but based on your contribution, your characteristics, and your ability to learn, pick up new things, working as a team player, how to synchronize together with the company culture, and all these will play a big part in your salary scale. So so cybersecurity, I say is a very different field.
Okay, but there's a questions out there is that I remember there was one study that done previously by Frost, I think, anyone who have more than 4 to 8 years kind of experience that this is one of the highest paid job, right? It's like 7,800 ringgit average salary, right? Is that the benchmark that you're seeing?
I think it's higher. We are paying higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you experience is actually higher from the benchmark. Good. Okay. So probably this is a very important, since we're down to the last 5 minutes, right? So I think a very important question that I need to ask Dato today is that I think being yourself into the think tank of the conversations for the country, right? From the emerging tech, from the infrastructures of the background that you have, right? I think this is evolving conversations, right? What we're discussing today is what we know, right? But I think that the infrastructure will evolve, the way that we see things will evolve. Like when you said that the government will use a lot of cloud, and then by next 5 years, everything will be in the cloud, right? So the questions that we need to address for ourselves is that how academia actually catch up with these conversations, because it's academia, it cannot be just a flip of switch tomorrow we are different, right? So how academia can actually catch up with these conversations of emerging challenge, and imagine maybe in terms of cybersecurity emerging experience or learning.
Thanks for the question. There's no shortcut to that. There's a need to have a pretty direct what I call industry involvement together with academia, and in this case also there must be a wider recognition that the industry actually could offer a lot more in the program that's run by the university, because university tend to actually go on those areas that will go deeper into the research. And in the case of UTM, I can share with you that there are 3 streams when the student comes in. First stream is that for those who are academically inclined, let them have a chance to go into potentially the area of research and PhD eventually. That's first stream. The second stream would be those who actually want to be a working professionals. So then they need to have industry knowledge and also the rest of the working competencies and life competencies. And my good friend, Prof. Shafri, is the chair for the Institute of Life Ready Graduates. That means the whole thing from communication skills, problem solving, analytical, growth mindset, and also work ethic and so on. These are part of the middle stream for the professionals. And the third one are those who want to be entrepreneurs. So then they need to also be exposed to the various methods like, the business canvas and what they call the fundraising and so forth, right? So these are the 3 streams. And then when it comes to the cybersecurity, it is evolving so quickly, and it is perhaps at this point in time more necessary for us to incorporate a lot more industry expertise in the delivery, such that it will then prepare our talent for our industry. So in this regard, that's why you can see that instead of going like a big team in the public university, and it is done through the wholly owned, which is a private arm,
Mm-hmm.
which has no so-called boundary in terms of various policy. It has, in fact, very much industry-driven kind of initiative and programs inside there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm glad that you have this vision. I think that this is the answer that we were looking to set up, right? So it's like from Securemetric, from LGMS, this is where the market demand is, right? They're require this kind of talent, right? And I'm glad that we understand this very, very closely, is that you have how do you actually convert yourself into matching to this what you call that fast changing requirement out there, right? So probably what I can sum up is, since that we are down to the last minute of the conversation today, I'd like to thank Ms. Wong, right? Thank you for joining. Mr. Fong, thank you for joining. And Dato, thank you for joining. I think it's a very important subject here today, is that you can see the conversation here today is that is the demand out there, right? And then the demand is not only looking at the cybersecurity as a discipline, there is also supporting role for that cybersecurity functions, right? As what Ms. Wong mentioned, right? And also from Mr. Fong experience actually is that cybersecurity could be a subject to start with, but eventually is that you'll be dealing with something that is probably not your beyond your surprise. Is like dealing with law enforcement agency. This is maybe not in the CV itself, or not even in the curriculum of the university itself, right? And also is that from the experience of UTM Space, I think is that a lot of exciting agility program that can actually help not only the newcomers to the industry. It helps someone that who need to progress from the career itself, transition the career itself, and also is that you have a very good engagement with the industry to be more agile and to be more forefront of this conversation of cybersecurity for the country. I think is that all what we need to all do to here today is that is to be able to match that demand out there for the next roadmap that we have for My Digital. I think the 20,000 talent that we need by 2024, 2025, that is the target that we need to prepare, and that's the journey, is how that's the target that we need to overcome. And nevertheless, we don't forget that once we meet that 2025 objective, we need to think of how do we meet the 2030, because that have to be coming from the education system, right? So thank you everyone for the be part of the panel for this morning, and I would like to hand the floor back to Hasru.
Thank you, Victor, and our panel members, Ms. Wong, Mr. Fong, and Dr. Wei, for that informative discussion addressing the gap of the skilled cybersecurity professionals and the supporting personnel. Thank you so much, everyone. On that note, job seekers, do visit the hashtag #MyDigitalWorkforceWeek at www.mydigitalworkforceweek.my, as we have 5,000 jobs available from 100 companies across the industry. For more information and details is included in the comment sections on the right. With that, we have concluded the first half of day 3 for Digital Skills Week here at Malaysia Tech Month 2021. We take a break from our sessions and resume back later at 2 p.m. See you then. Thank you.